The first thing Lena Vale heard was not the growl, it was the impact. Something enormous struck the frozen ground behind her cottage, hard enough to rattle the spoons hanging beside the stove. Then came one ragged breath, another, and beneath them, a heartbeat Lena knew she had heard before. She opened the back door. Cold air touched her face. Blood, wet pine, and unfamiliar wolf filled her nose. "Easy," Lena whispered. A massive animal shifted in the snow. Its claws scraped once. Villagers had spent the afternoon warning everyone about a black rogue wolf crossing Blackridge territory. They said it was wounded, unpredictable, and large enough to tear down a grown shifter. Lena could not see the creature crouched 10 feet away. She could hear exactly how close death was. Yet the wolf did not charge. Instead, it deliberately dragged one paw across the snow before moving, giving her warning. Lena went still. Rogues did not announce themselves to blind women. "Where are you listening from tonight? Tell me in the comments, so I know we have not lost each other along the way. Stay with me until the end, because the truth behind this silent wolf will change everything Lena believes about the darkness around her." She crouched and placed a wooden bowl on the ground. "You do not have to trust me. Just eat." The wolf approached, slowly. One careful step at a time. Its breath warmed her fingers. Lena reached toward its shoulder and found thick, soaked fur. The animal flinched but did not bite. Her fingertips moved lower. Blood, too much. Then her palm accidentally pressed against its chest. The heartbeat struck her hand. Once, twice. Lena stopped breathing. Years earlier, she had stood in a palace square among thousands while a young king swore his coronation oath. She had never seen his face, but when the crowd fell silent, she had heard his heart through the ceremonial resonance that carried his oath across the square. Steady, deep, unmistakable. The wolf beside her carried the same rhythm. A bell began ringing in Blackridge village. A rider shouted through the darkness. "By royal order, lock every road. King Rowan Blackthorne is missing." The black wolf's heartbeat accelerated beneath Lena's palm. Lena slowly turned her face toward him and understood that the entire kingdom might be searching for a man who was bleeding beside her door. By sunrise, the black wolf was gone. Lena knew before her feet touched the floor. The cottage sounded wrong. No slow breathing beside the hearth. No claws shifting against the wooden boards. No enormous body disturbing the air whenever it moved. Only the fire and silence. Lena sat on the edge of her bed. Good. The word sounded convincing enough. He has somewhere else to be. She dressed, fed the fire, boiled water, then reached automatically for a second wooden bowl. Her hand stopped. Lena frowned at herself. One night. She returned the bowl to the shelf. You knew him for one night. Outside, Blackridge was already awake. Hooves struck the frozen road. Messengers shouted between cottages. Every bell in the settlement carried the same warning. King Rowan Blackthorne remained missing. Royal patrols were approaching from the east. Lena stood beside her woodshed, listening. The information should have made everything simpler. It did not. A wolf was not a man. A heartbeat was not proof. And Lena had heard Rowan's coronation years ago, through ceremonial resonance and thousands of surrounding voices. Memory could lie. Fear could make patterns where none existed. Still, she could not forget the rhythm beneath her palm. Steady, deep, then suddenly faster when the rider announced the king's name. A boot crushed snow behind her. Lena turned. Morning, Lena. Alpha Marcus Gray. His voice always arrived before his scent, leather cedar oil, and the faint metallic edge of someone accustomed to being obeyed. "Alpha, you heard the warning?" Everyone heard it. Marcus stopped several feet away. "A rogue crossed this section last night." Lena kept her breathing even. "So I was told." "Large black wolf." "Yes." "Did you hear anything?" There were moments when blindness made people underestimate Lena. There were other moments when they remembered it only when it became useful to them. Marcus wanted her ears now. She tilted her head. The storm was loud. Not a lie. Anything unusual? Lena thought of a massive wolf deliberately scraping the snow before approaching her. No. Marcus was silent. She heard his coat shift. He was studying her. People did that often. Lena had learned to recognize the silence of being watched. "You live too far from the settlement," he said. "We have discussed this, and you continue refusing to move." "Yes. An Omega alone on the boundary is vulnerable." Lena smiled faintly. "Yet somehow I continue waking up every morning." His voice hardened. "This is not a joke." "No." She turned toward the woodshed. "I need to work." Marcus caught her elbow. Lena went still. His hand immediately loosened, not because he was gentle, because everyone in Blackridge knew Lena hated being moved without warning. "Royal search parties will question everyone," he said. "If you remember anything, you tell me first. Why? I am your alpha." There it was. The answer Marcus believed explained everything. Lena withdrew her arm. "If I remember something useful, I will decide who needs to know." A low alpha pressure brushed against her senses, not enough to command, enough to remind. Lena's wolf stirred uneasily. Marcus exhaled, then the pressure disappeared. "Be careful." His footsteps retreated. Lena waited until she could no longer hear them. Only then did she unclench her hands. She hated that her fingers were trembling. By afternoon, she had almost convinced herself the black wolf would not return. Then 2 scratches sounded against her back door. Slow, deliberate. Lena froze over the cutting board. Scratch, pause, scratch. Her heart betrayed her with a sudden leap. She opened the door. Cold air rushed inside, along with pine, blood, and wolf. "You came back." The black wolf released a quiet breath. Lena crouched. "You disappeared." One heavy paw moved across the threshold. Do not imagine that was concern. Another step. "I simply dislike unfinished medical work." The wolf's nose touched her wrist. Lena smiled. "You are also extremely manipulative." His tail struck the doorframe once. She stopped. "Did you just answer me?" Silence. "Do it again." "Nothing." "Of course." Lena closed the door. The wolf walked toward the hearth. Before crossing behind her, he scraped one claw gently across the floor. Lena's smile vanished. He had done that last night. A warning. Not because she frightened easily, because he understood she could not see him moving. No wolf Lena had ever treated behaved that way. She followed the sound. "Who taught you manners?" He lowered himself beside the fire. "Because I would like to congratulate them." His tail struck the floor. "Once." Lena folded her arms. "Interesting." The wolf became perfectly still. "You understand far more than you should." She heard his breathing change, very slightly. Lena crouched beside him. "Do not worry." Her fingers found the edge of his shoulder. "I am not asking yet." The wound had partially closed, too quickly for an ordinary wolf, too slowly for a healthy shifter. Something was interfering with his healing. Lena cleaned the torn flesh. The wolf did not move. "You should be better." His heartbeat remained steady. She pressed 2 fingers carefully near the wound. then heard it, not through her ears, through something deeper. A second rhythm beneath the first, slow, distorted, almost buried. Lena jerked her hand away. The wolf's head lifted. What was that? He shifted closer. She touched him again. Heartbeat, then beneath it, another pulse, faint, powerful, wrong. Lena's breath caught. The sound reminded her of a great bell wrapped in cloth. Something enormous was trying to resonate from inside him. Something was smothering it. The wolf whimpered. Lena immediately released him. Sorry, he nudged her hand. You want me to continue? His nose pressed into her palm. Lena hesitated, then touched his chest again. The second heartbeat returned. With it came a bitter scent. Not blood, something medicinal. Her mother had taught her herbs before she died. Lena knew healing tinctures. Poisons, too. But this was unfamiliar. Someone did something to you. The wolf's muscles tightened. Not an injury. She followed the strange resonance. A poison? His heartbeat accelerated. Lena slowly removed her hand. All right, she sat back. No more. The wolf lowered his head. You do not have to tell me. His ears moved. That sounded ridiculous. Lena smiled. You are a wolf. His tail struck the floor. Once, she laughed. Fine. A very opinionated wolf. That evening, Lena prepared rabbit stew. She filled her own bowl, then his. The wolf waited. You can eat. Nothing. She pushed the bowl closer. He remained still. Lena frowned. Are you sick? His nose moved toward her bowl, then back toward her. Lena understood. You are waiting for me? His tail struck once. She took a spoonful. Only then did he lower his head to eat. Lena stopped chewing. No rogue does that. The wolf continued eating. Pack-trained, perhaps. Nothing. Military? His chewing slowed. Lena leaned back. Oh, the wolf resumed eating. You really are terrible at lying. He gave a low huff. Lena ate another spoonful. She remembered the coronation, the crowd, the bells, the king's oath carried through ceremonial magic. I will stand before those who cannot stand. I will hear those power has taught others to ignore. Lena had remembered those words because of the irony. Kings always promised to hear everyone. Few ever noticed omegas like her. Without thinking, she repeated the line aloud. I will hear those power has taught others to ignore. The wooden bowl stopped scraping. Lena's spoon froze halfway to her mouth. The wolf had stopped eating, completely. She turned toward him. You know those words. Silence. They belong to King Rowan's oath. His heartbeat changed. Once, hard. Lena set down her spoon. The cottage suddenly felt smaller. You heard the rider yesterday. Nothing. You reacted to his name. The wolf stood. Before moving toward the door, he scraped one claw against the floor. Lena rose. Wait. He stopped. She reached for him. Her fingers found thick fur, then the narrow silver patch beneath his throat, a detail she had not noticed before. Are you afraid of me? The wolf turned his head. His nose touched her wrist. Gentle. No. That was what the gesture felt like. Lena swallowed. Then, what are you afraid of? Outside, a distant horn sounded. Royal Patrol. The wolf's entire body became rigid. Lena felt it beneath her hand. Not fear of rescue, fear of discovery. Her stomach tightened. You do not trust them. The horn sounded again, closer. The wolf moved toward the rear door. Lena caught his fur. Do not. He stopped. If you go into the forest injured, they will find you. His breathing sharpened. And if they are the people who hurt you—" She did not finish. The wolf slowly returned to the hearth. Lena closed the shutters, then extinguished the lamp. Darkness meant nothing to her. To anyone watching from outside, it made the cottage look empty. She sat beside the wolf. "I do not know who you are." His breathing slowed. "I am beginning to think you are not a rogue." His tail moved once. "I'm also beginning to think someone important wants you found." "Nothing." Lena touched the wooden bowl. "And I suspect you are intelligent enough to understand every embarrassing thing I've said." "One strike of his tail." She laughed softly. "Wonderful." The royal horn passed without stopping. The wolf remained beside her. That was the second night. On the third morning, he disappeared again. By sunset, he returned. 2 scratches, always 2. On the 4th day, Lena discovered he could travel farther. She knew because he returned carrying a rabbit. It landed on the porch with a soft thump. Lena opened the door. Her boot touched fur. She recoiled. "What is that?" The wolf nudged it. Lena crouched. "A rabbit?" His tail struck the porch. "You brought me food?" "Once." Lena touched the rabbit. Fresh, cleanly killed. Something warm tightened in her chest. "You did not have to do that." The wolf pushed the rabbit closer. Lena became quiet. People brought Lena things sometimes, usually because they wanted medicine, a repaired shirt, a favor. This felt different. No transaction followed. "Thank you." The wolf exhaled and lay beside the door. Lena sat beside him. Snow whispered through the trees. "You know what people think blindness means?" His ear shifted. "That I am always waiting for someone to rescue me." She rubbed her fingers together. "They offer an arm before asking. They move things in my house because they think the new place is more convenient. They speak louder." The wolf released an offended huff. Lena smiled. "Yes, that one is particularly stupid." His head settled near her knee. "I learned to do everything alone because I hated the feeling of someone deciding what I needed before asking me." The words became quieter. "Eventually, I became good at being alone." She paused. "Maybe too good." The wolf's head touched her knee. Lena rested her hand between his ears. Sometimes being independent becomes such a good shield that nobody notices when it starts becoming a wall. And if you have ever wanted someone to offer help without making you feel helpless, you probably understand exactly why this strange wolf was beginning to matter to Lena. She stroked his fur. "You never touch me without warning." The wolf became still. "You make noise before moving." His breathing slowed. "You wait until I find you." Lena's throat tightened. That should not feel as rare as it does. The wolf shifted closer, not touching, waiting. Lena extended her hand. Only then did he place his head beneath it. Choice. Such a small thing. Yet Lena felt safer with the enormous predator than she did with many people she had known her entire life. On the 5th night, the poison worsened. The wolf collapsed beside the hearth. Lena dropped beside him. His breathing came too fast. The second heartbeat beneath the first had become chaotic. "Stay with me." She pressed both hands against his chest. The hidden pulse surged. Pain tore through Lena's skull. She gasped. For one impossible instant, the cottage disappeared. She heard thousands of heartbeats, wolves, alphas, oaths, all connected to the animal beneath her hands. At the center was one deep, sovereign rhythm, king. Lena recoiled. The connection vanished. Her ears rang. The wolf struggled upright. Rowan? The name escaped her. His heart stopped for one terrible beat, then slammed against his ribs. Lena went completely still. The wolf backed away. Oh God! He turned toward the door. Wait. He stopped. Lena's mind raced. She had no face to compare, no crown, no royal scent she recognized, only an old memory and a heartbeat. That was not enough. Not yet. You could still be someone else. The wolf remained motionless. But you understood the oath. Silence. You react to his name. Silence. And there is something inside you connected to other wolves. The black wolf lowered his head. Lena's pulse raced. Why can you not shift? The second heartbeat shuddered. Poison. Whatever had been done to him was not merely killing him, it was hiding him. A violent knock struck the front door. The wolf spun. Lena stood. Who is it? Royal Guard. The voice came through the wood. We are searching every residence under authority of Commander Silas Vane. The black wolf's growl was nearly silent. Lena heard something else. His heartbeat, not merely faster, terrified. She reached toward him. He touched her palm with his nose, then moved toward the rear door. Lena blocked him. No. Another knock. Open immediately. The wolf's claws pressed into the floor. Lena whispered, If they came to rescue you, you would not be afraid. His breathing stopped. That was answer enough. Lena pointed toward the pantry. Inside. The wolf hesitated. Please. He moved. Before entering, he deliberately scratched the floor twice. Lena smiled despite her fear. I know where you are. She closed the pantry, then opened the front door. 3 soldiers stood outside. She identified them by armor, leather, and the synchronized breathing of trained fighters. Lena Vale? Yes, we are searching for a rogue black wolf. I heard. May we enter? The question surprised her. Do I have a choice? A different voice answered from farther back. Yes. Low controlled. Male. Boots approached. The soldier shifted immediately. Authority without announcement. I am Commander Silas Vane. Lena turned toward him. Commander, we have reason to believe the animal is dangerous. Silas stopped in front of her. Have you encountered it? Lena listened. His breathing was calm. Heartbeat steady. Then beneath it, a faint distortion. The same ugly rhythm she had heard inside the poison corrupting the black wolf. Lena's blood turned cold. Silas waited. Miss Vale, behind her, the wolf remained completely silent. Lena smiled politely. No, Commander. Silas's heartbeat changed. Just once. A tiny acceleration. He knew she was lying, and Lena suddenly knew something much worse. The man leading the search for King Rowan carried the same supernatural stain as the poison hiding him. Commander Silas Vane's heartbeat was wrong. Lena stood in her doorway and listened to it. Steady, disciplined, almost unnaturally calm. But beneath that rhythm lived the same faint distortion she had heard inside the black wolf. Valebane. She did not know the poison's name yet. She only knew 2 things. Someone had put it inside the wolf, and traces of it were somehow connected to the man supposedly searching for King Rowan Blackthorne. Silas waited. Miss Vale? Lena kept her expression neutral. You asked whether I encountered the rogue. Yes. No. His heartbeat accelerated. Barely. A practiced liar might control his face. A trained soldier might control his breathing. The heart was harder. Silas stepped closer. You live alone? Yes. Blind? Lena's jaw tightened. Also, yes. One of the soldiers shifted uncomfortably. Silas continued. Then perhaps you encountered the animal without realizing what it was. Lena smiled. Commander, if a wolf large enough to frighten the royal guard entered my cottage, I suspect I would notice. One soldier coughed. Silas did not laugh. I did not say we were frightened. No. Lena tilted her head. You did not. His heartbeat changed again. Interesting. Silas moved toward the threshold. May we search? You said I had a choice. You do. And if I say no, a pause. We leave. Behind Lena, somewhere beyond the pantry door, there was no sound at all. Rowan understood. Silas continued, but refusing a lawful search may cause unnecessary suspicion. There it was, not a command. Pressure wrapped in courtesy. Lena knew that language. People had used versions of it her entire life. You can decide, but there is a correct decision. She stepped aside from the doorway. Silas relaxed. Then Lena said, I have decided. He stopped. No. The silence outside became absolute. Silas's voice cooled. You are refusing? Yes. Why? Because this is my home. The answer apparently offended him more than an accusation might have. Lena heard his glove tighten around leather. Very well. His boots retreated. The soldiers followed. Silas stopped at the edge of the porch. Royal patrols will remain in Blackridge. I assume so. If you hear anything unusual, I hear many unusual things. Anything related to the king. Lena turned her face toward his voice. I will remember. His heartbeat skipped. Then he left. Lena waited. 20 steps. 30, 40. Only when the horses disappeared down the frozen road did she close the door. She locked it, then locked it again. Do not come out yet. Silence. Lena crossed to the window. She listened. Wind, pine branches, distant hooves, nothing else. Now. The pantry door moved. 2 claws scraped the floor before the wolf approached. Lena turned toward him. Your rescue party is terrifying. Rowan released a low breath. You knew he was coming. His tail struck once. You recognized his voice? Nothing. Lena frowned. His scent? Still nothing. Then she understood. You knew Silas. The wolf's breathing changed. Lena crouched. And you were afraid of him. A low growl. Not fear this time. Hatred. That is useful. Rowan moved closer. Lena touched his shoulder. The corrupted second heartbeat remained. She listened more carefully. The same distortion. Silas had carried only a trace. Rowan was drowning in it. I think he knows what happened to you. The wolf's muscles hardened. Maybe he caused it. A deeper growl. Lena removed her hand. All right. She sat beside the hearth. We need proof, Rowan huffed. Yes, I know. It is inconvenient. He paced. Scratch. Step. Scratch. Every time he crossed behind her, he warned her. Lena noticed something else now. He was angry enough to tear apart furniture, yet he still remembered. That mattered. Storm. The wolf stopped. Lena smiled faintly. I cannot keep calling you Rowan when I am not certain. His tail hit the floor. Hard. You object? Another strike. Then tell me your name. Silence. Storm it is. A deeply offended growl rolled through the cottage. Lena laughed. For a moment, the danger outside disappeared. Then the village bell rang. 3 short notes. Council summons. Lena's smile vanished. Marcus Storm moved toward the door. No. He stopped. I need to go. He blocked the doorway. Lena folded her arms. You're behaving like an alpha." The wolf remained exactly where he was. That was not praise. Nothing. Move. He did not. Lena stepped forward until her knees touched his chest. "You do not decide whether I leave my own house." Storm went still, then moved aside, immediately. Lena's anger softened. "Thank you." His nose touched her wrist. She grabbed her coat. "You stay here." Storm sneezed. "I mean it." She left. Blackridge's meeting hall was crowded. Lena knew before entering. Too many heartbeats, too many scents, too much nervous movement. Someone took her elbow. She pulled away. "I can walk. Sorry." A young woman's voice. Lena relaxed. "Tell me where Marcus is." Front platform. Royal soldiers. Everywhere. Lena's stomach tightened. Silas? Beside Marcus. Of course. Lena found an empty bench. Marcus struck the table. The room quieted. "Commander Vane has received new orders from the capital." Silas stepped forward. "King Rowan has now been missing for 6 days." Murmurs spread. Lena counted. 6. The Black Wolf had arrived 2 nights ago. Whatever happened to Rowan had begun before he reached her. Silas continued. "The Moon Oath Conclave was scheduled for 3 days from now." A pause. "The council has moved it forward." Lena's hands tightened. "When?" someone called. "Tomorrow at moonrise." The room erupted. Lena stopped breathing. "Tomorrow." Silas raised his voice. "If His Majesty does not appear before the final oath bell, the Regency Clause will be invoked." Marcus asked, "Who assumes authority?" "The council will appoint an interim sovereign." Lena did not need sight to know everyone was thinking the same thing. "Who?" Silas did not answer. That was answer enough. A man near the wall shouted, "What about the rogue?" Silas replied, "We now believe the Black Wolf may be connected to the attack on His Majesty." Lena's blood chilled. Connected. Technically true. Dangerously misleading. Anyone sheltering the animal must surrender it immediately. Marcus's voice followed. "Blackridge will cooperate fully." Lena heard movement near the entrance, then something stranger. Royal wolves. Several guards were shifters close enough to their wolves that Lena could sense their restless resonance. Suddenly, every one of them quieted, heads turned, boots shifted. One soldier inhaled sharply. Lena knew before anyone spoke. Storm. Her heart sank. 2 scratches sounded outside the hall door. Scratch, pause, scratch. The idiot had followed her. People murmured. "What was that?" Silas stopped speaking. Lena stood. Marcus called, "Lena?" She moved toward the door. Silas stepped down from the platform. "Wait, too late." The door opened. Cold air entered, then wolf scent. The room exploded. "Rogue!" Weapons cleared leather. Storm growled. Lena stepped directly between the sound of steel and the wolf. "Stop!" Marcus grabbed her arm. "Move! No! That thing may have attacked the king." "No, it did not." Silas became very quiet. "How can you know?" Lena heard Storm's breathing behind her. She chose every word carefully. "Because he was injured when I found him." Marcus's grip tightened. "You lied." "Yes." The room fell silent. Marcus lowered his voice. "You sheltered a rogue? I sheltered an injured wolf. You endangered the pack. He has harmed no one. You cannot know that." Lena turned toward Marcus. "I know exactly what he has done in my presence." Marcus's alpha pressure rose. Storm snarled. Lena reached backward. Her fingers found his fur. The growl stopped. Every royal shifter in the hall reacted. A breath, a shift. One knee nearly touched the floor before its owner caught himself. Lena heard it. Silas heard it too. His heartbeat changed, fast, then controlled. "Interesting," he said. Lena turned toward him. "What is?" "Nothing." "Lie." Storm moved forward. Several royal wolves unconsciously lowered their heads. Silas snapped. "Stand straight." They obeyed. But confusion had entered the room. Marcus stepped toward Storm. "We will restrain it." "No, Lena." "No." His alpha command entered the word. Her wolf reacted. Storm did too. A low vibration rolled from his chest. Not a growl. Something deeper. Every shifter in the room froze. Lena felt the strange second heartbeat inside him surge. Sovereign. Then it disappeared. Storm had stopped himself. He could have answered Marcus's dominance. He chose not to, because doing so would expose what he was, or perhaps because Lena stood between them. Marcus tried again. Step away from the wolf. Lena's knees weakened. Storm pressed his side against her legs, not pushing, steadying. The command lost some of its grip. Silas whispered, "How?" Lena heard him. So did Storm. Marcus reached for her. Storm snapped once. Teeth closed on empty air. The warning echoed through the hall. Weapons rose again. Enough! Silas's command cut through everyone. He approached slowly. "Miss Vale, nobody wants you harmed." Lena listened to his heartbeat. That distortion remained. Closer now. She could almost map it. A bitter resonance clinging to his pulse. "You keep saying comforting things," she said. Silas stopped. "And your body does not seem to believe them." A murmur moved through the hall. Marcus hissed, "Lena." Silas remained calm. "What does that mean?" "It means your heartbeat changes when you lie." This time the reaction was larger. Silas laughed, but his heart did not. An impressive claim. It is not a claim. You can diagnose dishonesty through a heartbeat? Not always. Lena tilted her head. But yours is unusually informative. Storm's tail struck once behind her. Silas heard it. His pulse sharpened. Lena continued, "You were carrying something when you came to my cottage." "What? I do not know." She stepped closer. Marcus whispered, "Do not." Lena ignored him. "It sounds like poison." Silas's breathing stopped for half a beat. "There." Lena smiled without warmth. "You know exactly what I mean." Silas's heartbeat exploded. Then boots moved. Fast. He reached for her. Storm struck. The black wolf launched between them. Silas hit the floor. Storm stood over him, teeth at his throat. Royal swords came free. "Do not move," Commander Silas shouted. Storm's jaws remained open. Lena heard something beneath the chaos. The royal shifters were not attacking. They could not. Their wolves recognized something their human minds did not. One soldier whispered, "Why will my wolf not move?" Another said, "Mine is bowing." Silas went still beneath Storm. His heartbeat changed again. Not confusion, recognition. He knew. Lena's stomach dropped. Silas had recognized Rowan. Storm. The wolf's ear moved. "Come to me." He immediately stepped away from Silas. The royal commander sat up. Marcus stared. "Why did it obey you?" Lena ignored him. She touched Storm's shoulder. His body trembled. The poison was worsening. Silas stood. His calm had returned. Too quickly. "Take the wolf." Nobody moved. Silas's voice hardened. "That is an order." A royal guard whispered, "Commander, take it." 2 soldiers stepped forward. Their wolves resisted every movement. Storm lowered his head. Lena felt the sovereign pulse building. Do not. The wolf looked toward her. If you are who I think you are, do not reveal yourself here. His heartbeat slammed. Marcus laughed sharply. Who do you think it is? Lena turned toward him. I am not sure, Silas answered before she could continue. It is a rogue. Too fast. Lena smiled faintly. You are sure? I am. Interesting. She stepped toward him. Because your wolves are not. Silas said nothing. The room had become dangerously quiet. Lena could hear every heartbeat, fear, confusion, suspicion, and one hidden rhythm inside Storm, fighting to escape. Then, the front bell sounded. A messenger entered. Commander. Turned. What? Message from the capital. Paper unfolded. The messenger read, The Moon Oath Conclave will begin tomorrow at sunset. If King Rowan Blackthorne fails to present himself before the 3rd bell, the council will declare the throne incapacitated. Storm staggered. Lena caught him. The second heartbeat beneath her hand became weaker. Too weak. She whispered, How long? His nose touched her wrist. Silas heard. How long for what? Lena looked toward his voice. The answer came together. The poison, the hidden sovereign pulse, the conclave, Silas's urgency. He did not merely need Rowan missing. He needed Rowan unable to appear before the oath bells. Lena's fear became certainty. You are not searching for your king. Silas's heartbeat stopped. The entire hall seemed to stop with it. Lena continued. You are waiting for him to run out of time. Marcus stepped backward. Silas spoke very softly. You should be careful what you accuse people of, Miss Vale. I did not accuse you. Not yet. Lena placed one hand against Storm's chest. The corrupted rhythm pulsed beneath her palm. Then she turned her face toward Silas. I am listening. For the first time since entering Blackridge, Commander Silas Vane sounded afraid. Tomorrow, he said, I will return for that wolf. Storm growled. Silas walked toward the door, then stopped beside Lena. You have survived this world by being clever. His voice lowered. Do not confuse that with being untouchable. Lena smiled. You have survived this long because people believe what they see. Silas became still. That advantage does not work very well on me. His heartbeat betrayed him, one violent beat. Then he left. Marcus followed after several seconds. The royal guard withdrew. But before the last soldier crossed the threshold, he stopped near Storm. His breathing shook, then his knee touched the floor. Only for a second. The soldier rose immediately and hurried outside. Lena heard everything. She closed the door. Storm leaned against her. You are running out of time. His breathing was rough. So am I, apparently. He nudged her hand. Lena found his face. You could have left me when Silas arrived. The wolf remained still. You could have exposed yourself and ended Marcus's command. Nothing. But you did not. His nose touched her palm. Lena understood. He had chosen restraint when power would have been easier, chosen her safety over proving what he was. Trust was becoming difficult to avoid. She pressed her forehead against his. One more night. His heartbeat struck beneath her fingers. One more night to prove who you are, the hidden sovereign pulse answered. Deep, faint, dying. Outside, the royal guard believed they had until tomorrow to find their missing king. Inside Lena's cottage, the king they could not recognize was already collapsing against the blind Omega they had underestimated. and she was beginning to understand that if she wanted him alive long enough to reclaim his name, she might have to expose the one man whose heartbeat had already confessed. The first oath bell rang before sunset. Lena heard it from inside her cottage. One deep note rolled across Blackridge, crossed the frozen forest, and vibrated through the floor beneath her boots. Storm lifted his head. Lena's hand stopped over the bandage she was tying around his shoulder. 1. The wolf's breathing changed. The conclave has started. His hidden second heartbeat answered beneath her fingertips, weak, distorted, dying. Lena tightened the bandage. How many bells? Storm's tail struck the floor 3 times. She went still. 3? Once. Yes, 3 bells. The messenger had said the same thing. If Rowan Blackthorne failed to present himself before the 3rd oath bell, the council could declare the throne incapacitated. Lena touched Storm's chest again. The sovereign pulse beneath his ordinary heartbeat was weaker than it had been yesterday. Whatever poison hid the king inside this wolf was finishing its work. She whispered, "You have until the 3rd bell." Storm's nose touched her wrist. No pressure. His tail struck once. Despite everything, Lena smiled. Then she heard horses. Not 1, not 5, dozens. Storm stood. His claws struck the floor. Lena counted the riders by rhythm. 30, perhaps 40. Royal armor rattled beneath winter coats. Blackridge wolves followed them, and at the center of it all came a heartbeat Lena already knew. Silas Vane. Calm, controlled, corrupted. Lena rose. Storm moved toward the rear door. No, he stopped. You ran once. His breathing sharpened. They are not going to spend the rest of your life hunting you. Storm growled. Lena found his face with both hands. And I'm not letting you die in my pantry. His growl softened. A fist struck the front door. Lena Vale Marcus, open this door under authority of Blackridge Pack. Storm moved in front of her. Lena touched his side. Stay, he did. Another blow. Lena. She opened the door. Cold air flooded the cottage. Marcus stood on the porch. Silas waited behind him. Royal soldiers filled the clearing. Several Blackridge wolves formed a second line. Lena heard bows being drawn. Her stomach tightened. Marcus spoke first. Move away from the animal. No, you admitted sheltering a rogue. Yes, you lied to your alpha. Yes. Do you understand the seriousness of that? Yes. Her calm answers irritated him more than excuses would have. Alpha pressure rolled from Marcus. Storm growled. Lena's wolf lowered instinctively. Her knees threatened to bend. Then Storm touched her leg. The pressure changed. Not gone. Countered. Something ancient inside him pushed against Marcus without fully awakening. Royal wolves reacted. One whimpered. Another lowered his head. Silas snapped. Control yourselves. Lena turned towards his voice. You noticed too. Silas ignored her. Miss Vale, step aside. No. This animal may have participated in the attack on King Rowan. That is a carefully constructed sentence. Silence. Lena continued. You did not say he attacked the king. Silas's heartbeat accelerated. You said he may have participated. You are playing with words. I cannot play with your facial expressions. A few soldiers shifted. So words are useful. Marcus hissed. Enough. He stepped closer. Storm bared his teeth. Marcus stopped. Silas did not. He approached until Lena could hear the faint creak of his gloves. Your loyalty to an animal you have known for several days is admirable. Thank you. It is also misplaced. That remains to be determined. I am trying to protect you. His heartbeat stayed steady. Lena tilted her head. That one was almost true. The clearing became very quiet. Silas exhaled. Search the cottage. 2 soldiers approached. Storm stepped forward. Their wolves recoiled. The men stopped. Silas's voice sharpened. I gave an order. Commander. What? The soldier swallowed. My wolf will not approach him. Another royal guard whispered. Neither will mine. Marcus laughed nervously. Then shift and drag the rogue out. No one moved. Storm's breathing deepened. The hidden pulse beneath his heartbeat stirred. Lena heard it. So did every wolf in the clearing, not with human ears, with instinct. A wave of unease moved through them. Silas's heart accelerated. He knew what was happening. Kill it. Everything stopped. Lena turned toward him. What did you say? Silas's voice became cold. The animal is a threat to the crown. A crossbow mechanism clicked. Storm pushed Lena behind him. No. The word left her before thought. Silas raised his voice. Archers. Several weapons lifted. Lena stepped around Storm. His teeth caught the edge of her coat, not skin, fabric, holding her back without hurting her. Let go. He released her instantly. Silas heard. You see? He laughed. The beast obeys her. Lena walked into the clearing. Lena! Marcus shouted. She ignored him. Snow compressed beneath her boots. She counted 12 steps, then turned. Storm. 2 scratches. He was still at the door. Come here. The wolf approached. Every movement announced. Scratch, step, scratch, step. Even now, even surrounded by armed men, he still made sure she knew where he was. Lena extended her hand. His nose found it. The second oath bell rang. The sound crashed over Blackridge. Storm collapsed. Storm! Lena dropped beside him. His heartbeat exploded beneath her hands. The second rhythm was disappearing. No. She pressed harder. Stay with me. Silas spoke behind her. Move away. Lena ignored him. The poison had changed. The distortion was wrapping around the sovereign pulse like a tightening chain. She followed it, deeper. Her skull began to ache. Sound sharpened. Every heartbeat in the clearing grew louder. Marcus royal soldiers, villagers, Silas Storm. Too many. Lena gasped. She focused. One heartbeat, the one she remembered from years ago. A palace square. Winter sunlight she had never seen. Thousands falling silent. A young king standing before the north. Ceremonial resonance carrying his oath through stone. I will stand before those who cannot stand. I will hear those power has taught others to ignore. And beneath the oath, that heartbeat, steady, deep, alone. Lena had remembered it because everyone else had cheered for the king. She had listened to the man. The rhythm beneath her hands matched it. Older, weaker, poisoned, but unmistakable. Silas grabbed her shoulder. Enough. Lena turned her face toward him. I know who he is. Silas froze. Marcus laughed. Lena, you cannot possibly identify. Rowan Blackthorne. The name crossed the clearing. Silence. Then someone laughed. A Blackridge warrior. Another joined him. Marcus sounded almost embarrassed for her. Lena. She kept both hands on the wolf. This is King Rowan Blackthorne. Silas laughed too. His heartbeat did not. You are making an extraordinary accusation based on what? Recognition. You cannot even see him. There it was, the mistake, the assumption beneath everything. Lena slowly stood. No. She faced Silas. I cannot. Her hand remained against the wolf's chest. So your poison hid his scent. Silas stopped breathing. You trapped him in wolf form. His heartbeat accelerated. You changed what everyone could see. Faster. What everyone expected to smell. Faster. And you assumed that would make him impossible to recognize. Silas's voice lowered. You have no idea what you're talking about. Lena smiled. You forgot one thing. What? I never needed to see him. Storm's hidden heartbeat surged. Once, a thunderous pulse, every royal shifter gasped. One soldier dropped his sword. Another fell to one knee, then another, and another. Marcus whispered, What is happening? The sovereign pulse awakened. Not fully. Enough. Royal wolves recognized their king. A soldier sank into the snow. My king. Silas stepped backward. Confusion broke through his control. No. Another warrior knelt, then 6, then 12. Storm stood. His body trembled. His head rose. A low resonance rolled through the clearing. Every royal wolf bowed. Silas stared. Lena could not see his face. She did not need to. His heartbeat told the story. Arrogance, gone, confusion, recognition, denial, then terror. No, Silas whispered. Lena turned toward him. And I know something else. He backed away. She listened. Past the dozens of frightened hearts. Past Marcus. Past Rowan. Found the corrupted rhythm inside Silas. The same distortion. The same supernatural stain. Her voice became quiet. I know the heartbeat of the man who poisoned him. Silas drew his sword. Commander Hale moved first. Steel struck steel. Hale forced Silas backward. Commander? Silas snarled. Stand down. Hale stared at the kneeling royal guard, then at the black wolf. No, Silas's composure shattered. He is compromised. Lena listened. Lie. The wolf is not Rowan. Lie. This woman is manipulating you. Another lie. Lena stepped toward him. Your heart is very loud now. Silas lunged. Storm hit him. The black wolf struck Silas's chest and threw him into the snow. Hale kicked away his sword. 3 royal soldiers restrained him. Marcus backed toward the village. Silas shouted, You fools! Look at it! Hale did. The black wolf stood over him, bleeding, shaking, dying. Hale's expression must have changed, because his voice broke. Majesty? Storm's tail moved once. Hale dropped to both knees. Silas screamed, It proves nothing! Lena heard another sound, a tiny glass vial breaking. Silas had crushed something beneath his hand. The scent hit her. Bitter, medicinal, the same scent inside Rowan. Move. Too late. A pale vapor spread across the snow. Storm convulsed. Lena screamed his name. Rowan! He collapsed. The sovereign pulse vanished. Royal soldiers staggered. Silas laughed from beneath Hale's grip. There! His voice shook with triumph. Your king dies before the 3rd bell. Lena dropped beside Rowan. His heartbeat was failing. Hale shouted, Get the healer! No time, Lena whispered. The poison had entered its final stage. She could hear it now, not as one distortion. Thousands tiny false rhythms woven through Rowan's body, masking the true one beneath. Her mother's words surfaced from memory. When the world becomes too loud, little bird, never listen to everything. Choose what matters. Lena placed both hands on Rowan. Silas laughed. What exactly do you think you can do? She ignored him. Heartbeats surrounded her. Too many. She pushed deeper. Pain split her skull. The world became sound. Marcus's pulse, Hale's, Silas's, every soldier, every villager gathering at the edge of the clearing. Then farther, wolves in houses, children, elders. The forest itself seemed alive with rhythm. Lena cried out. Blood warmed beneath her nose. Hale moved toward her. Rowan growled weakly. Even dying, he warned the man away. Lena almost smiled. Still protecting me? His heartbeat stumbled. No. She leaned closer. My turn. She searched for the false rhythms, found one, then another. Valebane. She pulled. Something tore through her senses. The first false pulse disappeared. Rowan inhaled. Lena found another. Pulled. A high ringing entered her left ear. Another. Pulled. The ringing became silence. Lena froze. She could no longer hear the wind on her left side. Fear hit her. Not darkness. Never darkness. Silence. Her deepest fear. Rowan's heartbeat weakened. She continued. Another false pulse. Gone. Half the clearing disappeared from her hearing. Lena, someone shouted. Maybe Hale. Maybe Marcus. She could not tell. She reached deeper. The true sovereign pulse appeared, bright in a world she had never seen. Not light, recognition. Rowan. She wrapped her heart-seeing around it. Come back. The wolf's body convulsed. Bones shifted. Fur retreated. A human hand suddenly closed around her wrist. Lena gasped. The heartbeat beneath her palm remained. Same rhythm, different body. Rowan Blackthorne drew his first human breath in 6 days. The royal guard erupted. Majesty. Lena smiled. They had done it. Then Rowan said something. She saw his lips move only because her fingers had reached his face, but no sound came. Lena frowned. What? Rowan spoke again. Nothing. The third oath bell began ringing. She felt its vibration through the frozen ground, but she could not hear it, not even faintly. The world had become silent, completely. Lena's smile disappeared. Rowan caught her as she swayed. His arms tightened around her. She touched his throat, felt him saying her name. Again, again, again. No sound reached her. She had saved the king before the final bell, and in doing so, the blind Omega, who had survived her entire life by listening, had lost the one sense she trusted more than anything in the world. Lena woke to nothing. No fire crackling, no boots crossing the floor, no winter wind against the shutters, no breathing beside her bed. Nothing. Her eyes opened. Darkness waited exactly where it always had, but darkness had never frightened her. This did. Lena lifted one hand and snapped her fingers beside her right ear. Nothing. Left. Nothing. Her pulse quickened. She pressed 2 fingers against her throat. She could feel her heartbeat. She could not hear it. The realization struck harder than Silas's poison ever could. The world had disappeared. Lena sat up too quickly. A hand touched her wrist. She recoiled. The contact vanished instantly. Her breathing became shallow. Someone was in the room. The mattress shifted slightly. Then 3 gentle taps traveled through the wooden bed frame. Tap, pause, tap, tap. Lena froze. Her fingers moved across the blanket. A hand rested several inches away, open, waiting. She recognized the gesture before she recognized the man. Rowan. Lena reached toward him. Her fingertips found his palm. He closed his fingers only after she curled hers around his warm, human, real. She traced upward, wrist, forearm, shoulder, then his face, strong jaw, rough stubble, a nose that had apparently survived more fights than good judgment should allow. Rowan remained perfectly still. Lena's fingers reached his mouth. His lips moved. She felt the shape. Lena. Her throat tightened. Again. His lips moved beneath her fingertips. Lena. No sound. She pulled her hand away. I cannot hear you. Rowan caught nothing, did not grab, did not force. He simply placed his palm against the mattress. 3 slow taps. I am here. Lena turned away. I cannot hear anything. The words felt wrong because she could not hear herself say them. Her voice existed only as vibration in her throat. Panic rose. What if this is permanent? The mattress moved. Rowan shifted closer, then stopped, waiting. Lena hated that he was waiting, hated that he understood, hated that she needed him to understand. She extended her hand. Only then did he touch her shoulder. Lena leaned into him. For several seconds, she allowed herself to be afraid. Then someone entered. Lena felt footsteps through the floor. Light. Quick. Alara, perhaps. A hand touched the back of Lena's fingers. 2 taps. Their agreed signal for physician. Lena nodded. Alara guided Lena's hand toward a wooden tablet. Raised letters had been carved into its surface. Lena read them with her fingertips. Hearing may return. Her breath caught. She moved lower. Do not use heart-seeing. Lena frowned. Another line. The silence will worsen. She pulled her hand away. How long? Alara took it again. Letters. Days. Maybe weeks. Then another word. Unknown. Lena swallowed. Unknown. She hated that word. What happened to Silas? Alara wrote against her palm. Captured, Marcus detention. Conclave? Rowan present. King recognized. Lena exhaled. They had won. Then why did victory feel like standing at the bottom of an empty well? She pushed away the blanket. Rowan's hand immediately moved, not touching, blocking nothing, just present. I need to get up. He stepped back. Lena stood. The floor was familiar. 3 steps to the table, 5 to the hearth, 7 to the door. She knew this room. She did not need sound. She walked. 1, 2, 3. Her hip struck the table. Pain flashed. Lena stopped. The table had moved. Someone had moved it while treating her. Anger came instantly. Who moved this? No answer reached her. Of course. Put it back. She hated how helpless the words sounded inside her own skull. Hands moved somewhere nearby. She felt vibrations. The table shifted. Lena pressed her lips together. I can do it. The movement stopped. She found the table, pushed. It barely moved. Another pair of hands joined hers. Rowan? I said, I can do it. His hands vanished. Lena pushed again. The table leg caught on a floorboard. She pushed harder. Nothing. Her chest tightened. This was ridiculous. A table. She had survived Alpha commands. Royal soldiers. Valebane Silas. And now a piece of furniture was defeating her. Lena kicked it. Pain shot through her toes. She sank into the chair. Tears came. She wiped them away angrily. I am fine. Rowan's hand touched the table. 3 taps. Lena knew what they meant now. I am here. I said I'm fine. 3 taps. Stop. Nothing. The silence became enormous. Lena stood. I need air. Someone reached toward her. She sensed the movement through the floor. Do not. Everything stopped. Lena found the door herself, opened it. Cold air touched her face. That, at least, still existed. She stepped outside. Snow compressed beneath her boots. She could feel it, not hear it. Every familiar landmark had once existed partly through sound. The pine tree whose branches scraped together in wind, the stream beneath the bridge, the smithy hammer, children running between cottages. Now Blackridge was an empty map. Lena walked anyway. She counted steps, 23 to the fence, 57 to the road. Her boot found packed snow. Good. She turned toward the village. A vibration reached her feet. Horse. Coming fast. Lena stopped. She could not determine direction. The vibration intensified. Left, right, she stepped backward. A body struck her, arms wrapped around her waist. They moved together. A horse thundered past. Lena felt the ground shake. Rowan released her immediately. She stood frozen. If he had not followed, anger replaced fear. She turned toward him. I knew where I was going. Rowan said something. Nothing reached her. Do not look at me like that. She did not know how he was looking. That made her angrier. I have walked this road hundreds of times. His hand found hers. She almost pulled away. Then he traced letters into her palm. I know. Then stop treating me like I will break. He wrote again. I am not. Yes, you are. No. Then why are you following me? His finger stopped. Lena waited. Letters came slowly. Because I want to. Her anger faltered. That is not an answer. His finger moved again. You followed me when I could not find my way home. Lena became still. Rowan continued. Let me walk with you, not guide, not carry. Walk. Lena lowered her hand. Fine. They continued. Rowan did not take her arm. Instead, he walked close enough that the vibration of his steps gave her a second reference point. Left, right, steady. He adapted without being asked. Lena hated how much that mattered. At the infirmary, she found injured soldiers. She knew by smell, blood, Herb's bandages. Someone groaned. Lena did not hear it, but heart-seeing stirred. Pain had resonance. She could still feel that. A wounded royal guard lay nearby. His pulse trembled against her supernatural awareness. Lena moved toward him. Rowan touched her wrist once. She pulled away. I can help. His hand returned. 2 words traced into her palm. Alara said. I know what Alara said. Rowan stopped. The injured man's resonance shuddered. Lena reached. Her heart-seeing opened. For one beautiful second, sound returned. Heartbeat, breathing, blood rushing through veins. Lena gasped. She could hear, not through her ears, through him. Relief overwhelmed judgment. She pushed deeper. The soldier's pain revealed itself. Broken ribs, internal bleeding. There, she pointed. Left side, hands moved. Physicians responded. Lena smiled. Then the sound twisted. 1 heartbeat became 5. 5 became 20. Every patient in the infirmary crashed into her awareness. Lena staggered. Rowan caught her. She heard his heart. Deep, powerful, familiar. Then it vanished. The silence returned harder. Lena screamed. She knew she screamed because her throat hurt. Nothing else existed, not even supernatural resonance. Rowan held her. She pushed him away. I was helping. His hands remained lowered. I was helping. Alara pressed the tablet beneath Lena's fingers. Heart-seeing is damaging the pathway. Lena threw it. The tablet struck something. She did not hear where it landed. Then what am I supposed to do? No answer. Sit? Silence. Wait? Nothing. Become someone everyone has to lead around? Rowan touched her hand. She ripped it away. No. He tried again. No. She stepped backward. Her heel struck a stool. She fell. Rowan caught her before she hit the floor. That was worse. Lena shoved against his chest. Stop saving me. He froze. The words hung somewhere she could not hear them. Tears burned her face. I saved you. Her hands shook. I found you. I hid you. I knew who you were when your own soldiers stood 10 feet away and could not recognize you. Rowan did not move, and now I cannot cross a road." Her voice broke. "I cannot hear a horse. I cannot hear my own door. I cannot even hear you say my name." That was the one, the truth beneath all the others. Lena covered her face. "I cannot hear you." Rowan's arms did not close around her. He waited, even now. Lena lowered one hand, reached, found him, then pulled herself against his chest. His arms wrapped around her. His heartbeat struck against her cheek. She could not hear it, but she could feel it. Once, twice, steady, deep, familiar. Lena cried until exhaustion emptied her. If you have ever been the person everyone depends on, you may understand why receiving help can sometimes feel more frightening than giving it. Strength is easy to admire when it looks like endurance. It is harder to recognize the strength required to say, "I cannot carry this alone." Rowan moved his hand, not toward her palm, toward the floor. He tapped his boot. Once, Lena felt the vibration. Again, a steady rhythm. Her head lifted. Rowan repeated it. Slow, even. A heartbeat through the ground. Lena placed her palm against his chest. Same rhythm. Then against the wooden floor. The vibration continued. "What are you doing?" Rowan guided her fingers toward his throat. His lips formed one word. Pulse. Sovereign pulse? He nodded against her fingertips. Lena understood. "No." Rowan's body became still. "You just got it back." He traced into her palm. "Yours first." "No." His finger waited. Lena shook her head. "If you weaken your sovereign pulse, you weaken your authority." He wrote, "Authority is not the same as worth." Lena stopped. She had spent years wishing alphas understood that sentence. Of course, the first one to write it into her palm would be a king. Rowan continued. "Ilara found something." He guided Lena back toward the table. Someone placed a small metal object in her hand, her mother's bell. Lena traced its familiar shape, the tiny handle, the worn rim, then the symbol engraved inside. 2 curved forms around a moon. Ilara guided her fingers to a book. Raised markings had been pressed into fresh wax so Lena could read them. Heart-hearer, Lena frowned. Another line. Not servants, listeners to the crown. Another. When sovereign power distorted truth, heart-hearers identified what remained real. Lena's fingers stopped. Her mother had known. The bell had never been merely a keepsake. Ilara moved her hand farther. Heart-hearing was never meant to be opened alone. Lena's breath caught. Another line. Sovereign and listener shared the resonance. She turned toward Rowan. "You can carry part of it." He nodded. "And it will weaken you." Another nod. "How much?" Rowan traced. "Enough." "That is not a measurement." She felt his chest move. He was laughing. Lena almost smiled. Then fear returned. "What if it does not work?" His fingers answered. "Then we stop. What if I lose everything? We stop. What if the mate bond forces my wolf to accept?" Rowan's hand left hers. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then he placed his palm upward between them, not touching her. Waiting. Choice, Lena understood. He would not activate anything unless she took his hand. The Alpha King could command thousands. He was asking one blind Omega for permission. Lena reached, their fingers intertwined. "Do it." Rowan's sovereign pulse entered the floor, not dominance rhythm. One deep vibration. Pause. Another. Lena felt it through her feet, through her bones, through Rowan's hand. Her heart-seeing stirred. She panicked. Rowan immediately stopped. "No." She tightened her fingers. "I am afraid." His thumb moved across her knuckles. Once, then waited. Lena inhaled. Again. The pulse returned. Slow, controlled. Her heart-seeing opened. This time she did not reach outward. Rowan met her halfway. His resonance formed a boundary. One heartbeat, not thousands. His Lena followed it. The silence trembled. Pain entered Rowan's body. She felt it through the bond. His knees nearly buckled. "Stop," he refused. Lena tried to release his hand. He loosened his fingers immediately, but his palm remained open. Her decision. Lena stared into darkness, then chose him again. She took his hand. "Share it." The connection opened. Pain divided. Half moved into Rowan. His sovereign pulse weakened. Lena felt it. The enormous presence of the king dimmed, not gone, humanized. Rowan grunted. Lena heard nothing. Then, a sound, tiny, almost impossible. Thump. Lena froze. Thump. Her breath stopped. Rowan? Thump. Not through the floor, not through heart-seeing, through her ear. His heartbeat, faint, distant, but real. Tears spilled down Lena's face. "I can hear you." Rowan said her name. At first, only vibration. Then a broken whisper reached her. "Lena." She sobbed. He said it again. "Lena." The most beautiful sound she had ever heard was not music, not bells, not winter wind. It was her own name spoken by a man who had willingly surrendered part of his power so she would not have to live inside the cost of saving him alone. Lena touched his face. "You weakened yourself." Rowan's voice reached her like sound traveling underwater. "You did it first." She laughed through tears. The sound was faint, but she heard it. Her own laughter. Rowan pressed his forehead against hers. No command entered the bond. No destiny demanded an answer. He waited. Lena moved closer. Her choice. His arms surrounded her. Alara touched Lena's shoulder, then placed the old bell in her palm. Lena rang it. Nothing. Her heart fell. Then, a tiny metallic note, weak, distant, beautiful. Lena smiled. The silence had cracked, not vanished, not magically healed, but cracked. Behind them, Commander Hale entered. Lena heard only fragments of his voice. Evidence. "Silas?" "Letters." Rowan turned. Hale handed him something. Paper. A seal cracked. Rowan read. His heartbeat changed. Lena noticed immediately. "What?" He hesitated. Silas was not acting alone. She closed her eyes. "Of course. Who?" Rowan placed something metallic in her hand. A seal. Lena traced its shape. A hollow circle beneath a crown. Alara's newly familiar voice came faintly from nearby. The hollow crown. Lena exhaled. Another conspiracy. Another threat. Another burden waiting to be picked up. Her old instinct rose immediately. Open heart seeing. Listen. Solve it. Rowan's hand closed gently around the seal, then removed it from her palm. Lena frowned. "What are you doing?" His voice was still faint, but she heard the answer. "Tomorrow," Lena almost argued. Then stopped. Tomorrow. For once, the world could survive without Lena Vale solving everything tonight. She leaned against Rowan. His sovereign pulse was weaker. Her hearing remained fragile. Neither of them had escaped unchanged. Perhaps that was the point. They had stopped trying to. For the first time in Lena's life, someone had shared her burden without turning her into one. And for the first time in Rowan's reign, the king had surrendered power without becoming less of a man. Outside, Blackridge waited for judgment. Silas waited in chains. The Northern Territories waited for their returned king. But inside that small room, Lena listened to one faint heartbeat beside her. Not because she needed to identify him anymore. She already knew exactly who he was. Commander Silas Vane stood before the Northern Tribunal in chains. Lena knew exactly where he was, not because she could see the iron restraints around his wrists, not because she could see the royal guard surrounding him. She heard his heartbeat. Her hearing had returned in fragments. Voices still sounded distant. High notes sometimes vanished entirely. Crowded rooms exhausted her. But Silas's heart. She recognized that rhythm immediately. The corruption was gone. The fear was not. Rowan sat beside her, not above her, beside her. His sovereign pulse remained weakened after sharing the burden of the silence. The throne beneath him could not change that. For once, Lena suspected that pleased him. Commander Hale stepped before the tribunal. The evidence confirms that Commander Silas Vane acquired Valebane through 3 intermediaries and administered it during the king's inspection of the eastern garrisons. Silas said nothing. Hale continued. The poison suppressed His Majesty's sovereign pulse, prevented him from returning to human form, and altered the supernatural markers royal shifters used to recognize their sovereign. A council elder spoke. Purpose, to ensure King Rowan could not appear before the Moon Oath Conclave. Silas finally laughed. Lena heard no humor in it. Do not make me smaller than I was. The chamber quieted. Rowan's voice carried through the hall. Then explain yourself. Silas turned toward him. You want the truth? Yes. Your father sent 4,000 wolves into the eastern pass. Rowan became still. 3,000 returned. Silas's heartbeat accelerated. My father was not one of them. Lena listened. My brothers were not among them. His voice hardened. My mother spent her final years receiving letters from a crown that called their deaths necessary. No one interrupted. Silas continued. One alpha made a decision. His chains moved. Thousands paid for it. Rowan answered quietly. My father's failures do not justify poisoning me. No. The words surprised everyone. Silas's breathing slowed. They do not. Lena tilted her head. There it was, the fragment of truth beneath everything. Silas had recognized a real danger, then allowed pain to convince him that any method used against that danger became righteous. I wanted a council strong enough to restrain the crown, he said. Rowan leaned forward. You could have argued for one, and if the king refused, then you continue arguing. Silas laughed bitterly. That is easy to say from the throne. No. Rowan's voice became colder. It is harder. Lena felt his hand resting open between them. She placed hers inside it. His fingers closed gently, Rowan continued. Power must be challenged. Silas's heartbeat stumbled, but the moment you decided innocent people could become tools for your correction, you became the thing you claimed to oppose. Silas had no answer. The tribunal did. He was stripped of rank. His properties were seized pending restitution to those harmed by the conspiracy. He would remain imprisoned while the Northern Council investigated every official connected to the Valebane network. Alpha Marcus Gray faced judgment separately. His attempt to use Rowan's disappearance to expand Blackridge authority cost him leadership of the pack. Lena attended neither sentencing celebration. There was nothing to celebrate. Justice was necessary. That did not make broken people less broken. 3 days later, Rowan found her outside her cottage. She recognized him by his steps. He no longer exaggerated them. He did not need to. Lena could hear enough now. Crunch, pause, crunch. His heartbeat arrived next. Steady, deep, familiar. "You're staring at me," she said. Rowan stopped. "How do you know? You become suspiciously quiet. I thought I had improved." "You have not." He laughed. Lena smiled. She had missed that sound. Some frequencies had returned faster than others. Rowan's voice had been among the first. Alara believed more hearing might return with time. She could not promise all of it would. Lena had accepted that, mostly. Some mornings, she still rang her mother's bell just to discover which parts of its note she could hear. Some days were better, some were not. Healing, Lena had discovered, was irritatingly uninterested in moving in straight lines. Rowan stepped closer. "May I?" Lena held out her hand. He took it. "What did the council decide?" "That depends. On you." Lena frowned. "That sounds dangerous. They want to restore the heart-hearers." Her fingers tightened around his. "As servants to the crown?" "No." The answer came immediately. Lena relaxed. Rowan continued. "The surviving records describe them as independent witnesses and sanctuary keepers." "My mother knew." "Yes. She never told me. Perhaps she was trying to keep you safe." Lena touched the small bell hanging from her belt. "That worked wonderfully." Rowan smiled. "I have noticed your family has an unusual definition of safety. So does yours fare." He placed a folded document in her hand. "What is this? A charter for the first restored heart-hearer sanctuary." Lena went still. Wherever you choose. Not the palace, not the capital, not somewhere convenient for Rowan. Wherever she chose. And if I refuse, then the council has wasted an impressive quantity of ink. Lena laughed. "You would allow that? I am beginning to enjoy disappointing bureaucrats." She traced the paper. "What authority would I have?" "Inside a recognized sanctuary, no alpha may use supernatural coercion." "Including the king?" Rowan sighed. "I knew you would ask that." "Answer including the king. Good. You enjoyed that, immensely." Lena turned toward her cottage. For years, she had believed independence meant constructing a life nobody could enter deeply enough to become necessary. Now she understood something different. A sanctuary was not a place where nobody entered. It was a place where everyone entered by permission. "I want it here." Rowan became quiet. "Blackridge? Yes. Not the capital? No. Not the palace? Absolutely not." That answer arrived quickly. "Your palace has too many stairs. I can remove them. Do not redesign a palace because your mate dislikes stairs. I am king. Irrational construction projects are one of my traditional privileges." Lena laughed again, then became serious. "I want people like me to reach it." Rowan listened. Omegas who are spoken over. Packless wolves. People who cannot safely challenge their alphas. Anyone who needs somewhere power cannot follow without permission. Rowan squeezed her hand. "Then that is what it will be. You're agreeing very easily." "I learned something while trapped in wolf form." "What?" "That you become more dangerous when people decide for you." Excellent lesson. Painfully acquired. Weeks passed. The cottage remained. The sanctuary grew around it. Not a palace, not a fortress. A larger timber house was built beside Lena's home. Its entrance had no raised platform, No throne, no alpha crest, only the listener's mark carved above the doorway. 2 curved ears surrounding a moon. People began arriving, an Omega seeking mediation with her pack, a young alpha terrified by the aggression of his first shift, a widowed shifter who had stopped sleeping after losing his mate. Lena listened, sometimes with her ears, sometimes with heart-seeing, never so deeply that she lost herself again. That was the hardest lesson. She could help without consuming another person's pain. She could care without becoming responsible for repairing everything. Rowan visited whenever royal duties allowed. He never entered without asking. The first time he forgot, Lena made him walk outside and try again. Commander Hale laughed for nearly a minute. Rowan threatened to transfer him to the southern border. Nobody believed him. The mate bond strengthened, slowly, without command, without ceremony. There was no grand announcement declaring Lena queen. She did not want one. Her authority came from work she had chosen. Rowan's respect came from choices he continued making. Their equality did not require identical titles. It required neither of them becoming smaller, so the other could feel powerful. One winter evening, Rowan returned alone. 2 scratches sounded against Lena's cottage door. Scratch, pause. Scratch. She froze, then smiled. The memory landed so sharply it almost hurt. Lena opened the door. You have hands now. Yes, you know how to knock. Yes, then explain yourself. Nostalgia. She stepped aside. Ridiculous. Rowan entered. He carried something. Lena smelled rabbit. Her mouth fell open. No, he placed it on the table. You did not. I did. Is that a rabbit? A very respectable rabbit. Lena laughed so hard she had to hold the door frame. I cannot believe the Alpha King of the Northern Territories brought me a dead rabbit. You appreciated the first one. I was being polite. That is devastating information. Rowan removed his coat. Lena reached for the shelf. Her fingers found the old wooden bowl, the one she had placed in the snow on the first night. The wood was scratched now. One edge carried the unmistakable marks of wolf teeth. She placed it on the table, then another bowl beside it. Rowan became quiet. Lena served the stew. She sat. Rowan did not eat. She noticed. You're doing it again. What? Waiting for me. Silence. Then Rowan said, You noticed. I always noticed. Lena lifted her spoon. Before eating, she stopped. There is something I never asked. Rowan waited. When did you know that you were my mate? Yes, the first night. Lena nearly dropped the spoon. The first night, when you touched my chest, and you said nothing. I was a wolf. You found several other ways to communicate. I brought you a rabbit. That is not a declaration of eternal supernatural compatibility. I was poisoned. You were annoying. I was dying. You were annoyingly dying. Rowan laughed. Then Lena's smile softened. Why did you keep coming back? His heartbeat changed. She heard it. That was still one of her favorite miracles. You were getting stronger. Yes. By the 4th night, you could have traveled farther. Yes. By the 5th, you probably could have reached loyal soldiers. Rowan did not answer. Lena leaned forward. Why my door? The fire crackled. Outside, snow moved softly against the cottage. Rowan's voice lowered. Everyone who approached me as king wanted something. Lena remained still. Protection, influence, permission, a title, an alliance. His thumb moved along the wooden bowl. You found what you believed was an injured animal. Lena's throat tightened. You fed me before knowing whether I could repay you. You covered me when I was cold. You spoke to me when you believed I had nothing useful to say." Rowan paused. "And you never once asked what I could give you." Lena whispered, "You could have told me who you were. I did not want to know whether your kindness would change." That hurt. Not because he had tested her, because she understood why a man surrounded by loyalty might still doubt whether any of it belonged to him. "Did you think it would?" "No." "Then why stay?" Rowan's heartbeat became slow, vulnerable. "Because beside your door, I was not the crown." Lena felt tears gathering. "I was not the sovereign pulse, not an alliance, not a political problem." His voice softened. "I was something wounded. And you decided that was enough reason to care." Lena reached across the table, found his hand. Rowan turned his palm upward, waiting, always waiting. She intertwined their fingers. "You do not have to trust me," he whispered. The first night returned. Snow, blood, a wooden bowl, a frightened animal, a woman who could not see him. "You do not have to trust me. Just eat." Lena smiled. "I know." She squeezed his hand. "I choose to." Neither spoke for a while. They did not need to. Lena placed her other palm against Rowan's chest. His heartbeat met her. Steady, deep, known. She did not open heart-seeing. She did not need supernatural power to identify him. She simply listened. Perhaps that was the strangest truth of Lena Vale's story. The woman everyone underestimated because she could not see had recognized a king when everyone with working eyes had failed. But her victory was never really about proving blindness could hide some secret advantage. Lena did not need to become extraordinary to justify being respected. She had always deserved respect. Her gift merely forced the people around her to confront how little they had understood about strength. Some people will notice your title before they notice your heart. Some will notice what you can do for them before they ask what carrying that ability cost you. And some rare people will recognize you when every symbol you once used to define yourself has disappeared. Those are the people worth recognizing in return. Silas had seen a genuine flaw in the kingdom. Too much power could rest in one pair of hands. His grief was real. His warning was not entirely wrong. But what do you think? Does understanding the wound that shaped Silas make him deserving of sympathy? Or did his decision to poison Rowan and manipulate an entire kingdom cross a line that suffering can never excuse? Tell me where you stand in the comments. And if Lena and Rowan's story stayed with you, you can support the channel by liking the story, sharing it with someone who might need its message, and subscribing so we can find each other again in the next one. Later that night, Commander Hale delivered the final investigation report. Silas's conspiracy was broken. His collaborators inside the Royal Guard had been arrested. The Regency plot was finished. One mystery remained. Among Silas's papers was a seal bearing a hollow circle beneath a crown, the Hollow Crown. Rowan read the report, then closed it. Lena raised an eyebrow. Problem? Yes. Tonight? Rowan looked toward the two bowls beside the fire. No. Lena smiled. Good answer. Tomorrow could hold conspiracies. Tonight belonged to them. The king removed his boots. The heart-hearer folded her mother's blanket across the back of a chair. Snow covered Blackridge. The sanctuary lamps went dark one by one. And inside the little cottage where everything had begun, Lena rested her head against Rowan's shoulder. She could hear his heartbeat. Not perfectly, not loudly. Enough. Wherever you are listening tonight, may you always be surrounded by people who recognize your heart before your usefulness. May you never believe that needing support makes you a burden. May your home be filled with peace, your body with health, and your days with reasons to hope. May you and your family be blessed with happiness, safety, love, and gentle strength through every difficult season. And may God always watch over you, protect the people you love, and guide every one of you safely home.